21ª Cátedra Europa, el encuentro académico y cultural del Caribe colombiano y el mundo académico europeo. Europa se vive en el Caribe.
Thanks very much for this kind and welcome and warm welcome. Also, thanks very much for the opportunity to share with you some ideas about sustainability and how we can help and improve it. And I'm also grateful for this opportunity to Abel Diaz, my colleague at VUB. Without him, I don't think I was being able to be part of this wonderful week here and visiting Barranquilla, which seems to me as a very nice and warm city. Now, we are talking a lot about sustainability. Well, at VUB, we are thinking that we should start doing something about that. Step by step, and maybe less talk and more do. Now, I'm not used to stand still, so I will move around a little bit. The sustainability issues we all know. Well, here you can see global warming, poverty, people moving from poor regions to find their good luck or dream, let's say, and realize it. And the more we talk about sustainability, the more issues pop up. So then the question is, what are we going to do about that? And here at university, the question is, what can universities do about that? Well, if I can use a slogan at our university, so those girls are taking bags with that slogan. Thinking must never submit itself to anything, basically, but to the facts and to the truth. In other words, it means that universities are well placed to support sustainability. Not because they have to, not because they have some benefit of that, but because they won't strive finding the facts, the right ways to support sustainability and the truth. So with the chair of social entrepreneurship, we think basically at universities from the perspective of having a central role to play in the ecosystem to support social enterprises. Social enterprises that are there to basically create ideas, new entrepreneurial ideas resolving sustainability issues. Step by step, some of the ideas will work, other ideas will not. Some of the ideas will have a small contribution to sustainability, others will have great contribution for sustainability. The more ideas we have, the more solutions we can provide worldwide, we think the better. And then why universities at the core of the ecosystem? Well, we have quite some students at VUB, 14,000, and we have quite some faculty, about 3,500, various disciplines, various backgrounds. So the variety of ideas being developed can be supported by quite some people. But next to that, we can create some networking. Faculty members and universities are known for their networking and contacts with business, with NGOs, with politicians. And at the same time, being here all the day, we are already paid. So we don't need to have any consultancy fees. We don't need to have anything else, but well, we can share also our knowledge to support sustainable ideas. And from my experience, students just love doing that. Why? Because they also realize the issues of sustainability, the problems of sustainability, and it's also part of their future. Of course, you cannot expect that everyone engages in all different ideas and all different and supporting all different social entrepreneurs. But from the numbers that we mentioned, which are from what I understand, similar to this university, about 16,000 students. The faculty members I didn't yet heard, but it will be more or less similar. So, well, there you have quite a broad range of people to support ideas. And what do social entrepreneurs need? Well, they need your help. They need networking, they need visibility. They can use resources. Most of the people think of money, but this is the least what social entrepreneurs need. They need all kind of help, support, and resources next to money, so think about that as well. And credibility. If Uninorte puts the name next to an initiative of social enterprise, if a big corporation puts a name behind an initiative of social enterprise, if a famous politician puts a name of social enterprise, and I understood that this is the city of Shakira, so if she puts her name behind a social enterprise, you guess that the initiative will be more successful. So we are thinking about supporting social enterprises from an ecosystem perspective. Ecosystem of various partners, of various organizations that can help from a different perspective a social enterprise. And this is why in 2015 we created the chair of social entrepreneurship with two goals. One, research on the topic, international scientific, and second, hands-on support of social enterprises. So we indeed don't only want to preach sustainability, we also want to walk our talk and help social enterprises to be successful. What is our vision for this project? Well, let me start to say that the President of the United States is wrong. He says, well, America first. Well, we say social entrepreneurs first. We can discuss with him, but I don't think he will invite us to do so. Well, then the idea is to see what social entrepreneurs need, what their issues are, and how we can support. Then, secondly, this is something I mentioned, and here the VUB you can change with Uninorte and any other university around the world. Engage students and staff in the various activities for social enterprises. And to be honest with you, I think this is the role of universities. The role is not only to develop knowledge and to teach students, the role is to develop the leaders of the future. And it's not only about earning money and having a big name tag at your desk. The role is also to have, let's say, a sustainable and inclusive society for the future. Helping projects like those that many social entrepreneurs around the world have will help us to have better leaders in the future as well. Of course, it is an illusion to think that university can resolve all the issues around, and we strongly believe in solid partnerships. solid partnerships where you're actually looking at complementarity and complementarity knowledge and assets. And if I may be honest with you, when we talk about entrepreneurship and social entrepreneurship, some colleagues from entrepreneurial centers will not like to hear that, but I will say it anyway. Professors are not the best entrepreneurs. Otherwise, they weren't at university in the first place. Well, sorry for the colleagues who may disagree, but I'm also professor of entrepreneurship. And the first thing I say to my students is, please don't listen to me. Why? Because when you are developing your idea, you need to listen to many different people, not to one, to ask the feedback of many people. And sometimes those who are agreeing or disagreeing with you are maybe not the best ones to give you a feedback. And at the end, you should be thinking about your own ideas and initiatives in a stubborn way. If you see the opportunity, if you see the possibility to realize the project, well, talk to many people, ask their advice, but also think what you believe is the right thing to do. In the 70s, when people started to think about personal computers, the leaders in the sector at that time were thinking, and there is a famous TV show, old crocodiles and new people like and young people at the time, Steve Jobs, Hewlett Packard, and a few others. And there is documented the old crocodiles were telling that there is a market for a dozen of personal computers. So I think if you look at home, every one of you has a dozen of devices at home. Every single one of us, not the whole market. So maybe the people who are at the core of a business currently, they don't see and they cannot envision the way the future can become as yourselves. So therefore, don't listen to anyone. Go take an advice of people and do what you believe is the right thing to do. So complementarity of the partners, it's important. I will come back to it in a second. And the last, but maybe the most important aspect here to share with you is the importance of international activity in supporting social enterprises. Why? Because the most challenging sustainability issues are definitely not in Brussels. Maybe also not definitely at this university and in the center of Barranquilla, but there are many places where sustainability issues and challenges need our attention. So by joining forces together, we can provide better solutions and maybe more impact around the world. Now, when we talk about an ecosystem and complementarity of the partners, let me first say that we launched the platform in support of social entrepreneurship that I will show you in a second, less than 1 year ago. And we are looking for the partner on a step-by-step approach in a way where there are totally no strings attached. So we are not signing formal contracts. We are not promising any fees to the partners. We are not promising any results. We are saying, okay, this is what we are doing. If you want to help social enterprises, go ahead. If you later on you see opportunities to work together and to have well, beneficiary transactions for both of you, go ahead. But first, it's important, no strings attached. So partners can choose, but also social enterprises can choose based on the quality of the support that they realize. And we are committed to grow this network further. Right now, I'm showing you partners in Flanders, but we are working also on international partners based on the partnerships with universities we are developing. You can see among partners, well, providing finance. This is a Flemish fund in support of social enterprises, providing equity and debt, basically. And the debt is both senior and junior, can be various types of. A private fund for let's say, social impact enterprises, those who have the opportunity to accelerate a little better. There are quite some networks of social enterprises like Poseco and Ashoka. This is an international well-known. We have also an organization that gives professional training and coaching of social enterprises, innovation community, and this is an incubator, not specifically for social enterprises, but for other startups. And the Shift is an organization that is gathering the CSR managers of multinationals. And why are multinationals and CSR managers interesting? Because they have programs that want to put their employees to volunteer and support good cause initiatives. So basically there we are providing value through what we are doing and supporting social enterprises to all those organizations, and at the same time we don't try to find out the warm water once again, but by joining forces to have more impact and better support the initiatives of those social enterprises. Now, internationally, I apologize to my hosts that I took the liberty of putting University del Norte in the center. But I can tell you that we are working on an Erasmus Plus project request of implementing this idea for supporting social enterprises here. Okay, we are working on it, so whether it will be successful and how we will further continue still to be discussed, but we see quite some interested colleagues around. We are visiting also other universities in the city who are also very eager to participate and collaborate with us. And also, if there are people here from other universities or other institutions, we are open to collaborate. Basically, our ideas are open for everyone. And the more people can support social enterprises, the better solution we will have for sustainability. So that is the whole philosophy about that. But further, I can share with you that we are involved in Bolivia, Catholic University of Bolivia, where we have a VLIR program for development aid. And one of the projects is related to our work, where we develop an ecosystem to support vulnerable social entrepreneurs. The nice thing of Catholic University of Bolivia is that it has 4 campuses in La Paz, Tarija, Cochabamba, and Santa Cruz. And basically, we can help social enterprises throughout the whole country of Bolivia, hopefully. It's a program of 10 years. We are in year 2, 5+5, so we are looking forward to develop further that project. 2 days ago, I received an email from a good friend of mine from ESPOL, Edgar Izquierdo, who basically confirmed that their university institutionally wants to support and to engage in that project. I say good friend of mine because we did our PhDs at Ghent University long time ago. So I'm getting old as well. Uh, my name doesn't sound very Belgium, so my background is Bulgarian, and we have good contacts with a Bulgarian university. Before I came here, I was teaching at Lumsa University in Rome. And those are universities who want to onboard the idea to support social enterprises. Was also visiting professor at the Graz University and Toulouse Business School, where we are talking to our colleagues on how can we collaborate around this project and around international programs. And further, I'm involved in two scholarly organizations, international ones. IAPS is a society with focus on sustainability and corporate social responsibility, supporting the journal Business and Society, one of the better in the field, where I'm on the board, and with a team of 5 professors. We are working on a conference for new business models or sustainable business models, where this year we are organizing the conference in Sofia. So from Brussels, we are organizing a conference in Sofia, which is also an interesting challenge, but it's working well. And so far we have 76 submissions from all around the world, and about 100 people interested to come over. So we will see for further opportunities to grow the network and the collaboration in support of social enterprises. But it's important to take a step-by-step approach, to test step-by-step how things are working. And of course, we will start working with, let's say, the closest relations we have, and where we internationally can be sure that the approach will be well developed, and you can be sure that we will not rush anything into developing this project. Having said that, the strategy is Latin America, Spanish speaking, not because of my Spanish, but maybe because of Abel Diaz. His Spanish is much better than mine. Then Europe, Africa, and Asia, and together with Europe, we'll work on North America. But okay, step by step. So how does it work? The platform, what is it? Well, it's a website that I will show you. A launch in May last year with our capacity. We were thinking is 25 projects. We're with 3 people, myself, Abel, and Philippe IJsselen in Belgium. Well, right now we have 21 projects and 2 canceled, so we came at 23, about 5 in the pipeline. But this is not counting partners, volunteers, and other people. So I think if other universities join, if we have more people on the team in Belgium, if we have more volunteers, that capacity can grow further up. The platform itself is built by Collect. Collect is the market leader of platform builders in Belgium. They have market of 50%. And they're also an alumni of our university. So instead of developing something ourselves, which by the way, it's quite easy to do, the difficult part is the interaction, and there you need to have people who understand the dynamics behind the interactions and communications, and therefore we rather prefer to pay a licensing fee and to work with a professional organization. Having said that, everyone can use this platform for free around the world. So it's gratis, free. We are organizing everything, and you shouldn't worry about other things beside that. I need to say that this platform does two things. One is crowdsourcing. So you need help about consulting, advice, contact, access to resources. You need volunteers, you name it, you mention it, and people can help. How does it work? I will show you in a second one project to make things more tangible. Uh, you communicate about your own project, but of course we see the projects on the platform. We communicate about that. Our partners, of course, they see the projects on the platform. They communicate about that. And before you know, you have got a response from people you never could imagine before that they exist. And they would be interested or willing to help. Why? Because you cannot know everything around. It creates basically an opportunity for, let's say, communication on various levels. And this is how it makes it possible to get much more effective projects. On average, the efficiency goes with at least 40% up, meaning that some projects that are not active, they don't benefit much, meaning that some projects that are quite active and creative, they can scale up much more quickly and much more better. The other part of the platform are donations. And I'm saying that you can quite easily do that. You can develop a website, put on the website a donation button. There are quite some payment modules around that don't cost you very much, and it can work. But it is important to be also on a platform softly associated with many other platforms about social entrepreneurship, which promotes traffic to the platforms as well, and also a community building. So that's why we decided to have a professional platform builder than to play in our spare time in developing platforms ourselves. So it's important to tell you that the crowdfunding we are using are simple donations. So I'm a former banker, 7 years in BNP Paribas, in various credit departments. If you have equity-based crowdfunding, you have many legislations around the world. And also, as a coordinator, you don't want to be engaged in projects where you are selling equity. It makes the thing very complicated. So we rather prefer that it's clear to everyone, okay, you are donating money for this project. You will never see your money again. If you want to support. And then to have an ecosystem with people who are prepared to give credits, equity, and financial support to social enterprises. So we have two funds in our ecosystem and also few and various business angels. And we will be talking to microfinance institutions to see, well, how can we develop that further and internationally, depending on the needs of the social entrepreneurs on the platform. So one of the people who have social enterprise Citizen Lab, what are they doing? They have a software that helps municipalities to engage people living in the municipality in various projects. Those were students who started that project, let's say, a year before they graduated. I suggested them to meet a business angel. Before the end of their studies, they secured a financing of €500,000. And right now they have 10 or 12 employees, quite successful and internationally working. So, okay, 500,000 donations, it's not feasible. And from a funding point of view and from resources point of view, it's better at the right time to find the right people. And about social entrepreneurship, funding and money is not the most important. The most important are contacts and people willing to help from a various perspectives. Okay, if you need serious support and maybe a bigger involvement in the project, there are many other ways to support that than through a website. And this is what we firmly believe in. What you also should know is that from the donations, projects, they receive directly the money. The money doesn't come through us. Of course, we monitor and we release the money when we see a plan of what projects will do with that. And we ask afterwards some reporting and pictures to see, to have some social control of what social enterprises are doing. I will tell you in a second why. But they receive 93% from the donations. So 7%, they don't come to us. They are used by Collect for transaction costs, payment modules, security of the website, and other reporting that they have to do. So if you have a project that has donations of €100 or $100, so I don't know how many million pesos here, they will receive 93 out of that 100. So how does it work? First, the project description is presented. Then we have a look at the project descriptions. We approve that. We give some feedback so projects can will improve their strategy, and then they're published. So those are the names of the projects, from quite some challenging and innovative, like Peruvian Social Incubator, to quite simple projects. Well, there was a colleague who wanted to collect clothes for refugees. So we are looking at all kinds of projects as soon as they have a good cause behind. I want to share with you a Colombian project. Maybe there are people in the room who want to help. Emily Bergmans, a student at VUB who did her internship here in Colombia. So you see that you can have the opportunity for a video, to post a video around it. Improves the communication. I will not share it with you, but later on you can have a look. You see the donation button. If you want to support, you just click and you can donate. And the payment modules, they support all kind of debit and credit cards. So how does it work? Well, there is a description of the project. This is a project about women who are victims of the conflict here in Colombia, in Caldas. And they're producing air fresheners. So basically, what is the project about? You see the needs. They want to organize a marketing campaign to improve the business, so that's why they need €5,000. They need to provide coaching and develop their business plan, design a marketing and communication strategy, and some legal advice. That is basically what they need. So if there are people here around willing to support a project like that with something, you are most welcome. Basically, they want to help those women to be self-sustainable. And you see the team, Emily Bergmans and Patricia Velasquez. You will see also uh, also a description of the project in Spanish, because they are communicating not only in Belgium and in Europe, but also in Colombia. And well, this is basically how it works. You have contact information, how you can contact them, and it is as simple as that. A short web page with clear information. This is our project. This is what we want to do. This is what where we want to go. This is the help that we need, and this is how you can contact us. That's it. So please check this and also other projects. Again, we are a little surprised that we have already quite some international projects, and this is not because of me or because of Abel. This is because of our international students and the opportunities they see around the world. I want to mention that there are also canceled projects. The first one that Emily wanted to support, she realized that the woman that wanted to support women also being victims of the conflict was not so much interested in supporting those women, but in supporting her own pocket. So I can assure you that there are terms around social fraud entrepreneurs and well, laundry of social funds. So those situations will exist, and we are trying to resolve that problem by monitoring and talking individually to the social enterprises. So for us, it's very important if we have a partner university or partners here in Colombia that this monitoring happens seriously here. So we from Belgium are not going to monitor. The moment we have social fraud without being taken away from the platform will collapse. This is something I can guarantee you. And this is the least of my priorities for the coming years. So we need to have a very good monitoring and help projects where we are sure that they are good projects oriented to sustainability and supporting good causes. The other project cancelled is a project of students who, well, decided not to do much about it. And then what's the point to support social enterprises who don't want to support themselves? So, well, yeah. So you see that we are strict in the way we are working, but I think it's necessary as well. Yeah. How does it work? Quite simple. We try to organize an event every month. So only the website with the projects will do nothing. You need to now and then see the social enterprises to provide coaching. You need to bring them in networks, not always in an explicit way, but organizing an event and asking them to come and present, to testify before other people, bringing them together, sharing their challenges all together. This is definitely something you can do. And once a year we have our main event. It's at the end of November, where we gather about 500, this year 550 people. 350 students from university, 200 other stakeholders. What our idea was is to attract many people by keynote speakers. We had the pleasure to have via video conference Stuart Hart, World Authority on bottom of the pyramid thinking, and also 5 other presentations of social enterprises. After the plenary session, we organized basically a poster presentation of 48 social enterprises, some on the platform, some supported by students, and some social enterprises that wanted to join. What is the strategy behind? If you have 550 people to look at 50 projects, well, you create immediately an opportunity for networking and support with knowledge that goes far beyond our personal knowledge at the chair of social entrepreneurs. And this is something that works quite well and easy. We didn't spend more than 500 euro on the budget for catering. If you provide people a glass of wine, bit water, and the opportunity to network together, it is everything that you need. And to be honest with you, everyone can do it. Some pictures to see the atmosphere around of the various events. This is the announcement of the event. We try to be professional also in communication. Well, thanks to Abel and his major of communication, I'm much worse. So never was going to do that on my own. These are some pictures of the events. We have a full media, social media, and all kind of media strategy. You can see also something that we didn't expect, but as of September, with each event that we organize, there is a volunteer saying, well, here I am, I'm good in making coffee, or if you need me for something else, just let me know. Great initiative, great projects, let us help. Those are the 6 people helping us in the various initiatives, and there are many more volunteering on monthly basis. Some media attention that we try to generate. Conferences, we are organizing also special issues in top refereed journals, Journal of Cleaner Production and Business and Society, to enlarge the network and the research about. And we think this is just the beginning. We hope together with University del Norte, with other universities here and around the world, to help social enterprises. And if you are interested, most welcome. So thank you very much. If there are questions, would be happy to answer them. And if you want to pose the question in Spanish, I'm sure that someone will be able to translate. Don't worry about that. Thank you. The first question is always difficult, so maybe let's start with the second one.
Yes, thank you for coming in and for the whole great information. I was wondering, what is the actual steps or procedure on getting the money from your accounts into Colombia? Because it's been known that into social entrepreneurships or crowdfunding websites have difficulties, and actually some entrepreneurs has had problems with the law because of that money transfer. How would your project will deal with that?
Okay. Well, thanks for the question. To be very clear about that, we are talking about donations. So it's a donation. We also checked with indirectly whether that's possible in Colombia. It's possible. And basically, the money goes directly to a bank account of the project itself. The moment we approve, there is just a click and the money is transferred. And if we need to find another way, if there are difficulties, well, you can work through accounts of university, through accounts of NGO organizations, through other ways, but so far we haven't seen any difficulty about that. Thank you.
Hello. Hi, here.
Ah, thank you.
So thanks for your presentation. I really don't want my questions to sound strong or rude, but I would really like to know like what kind of benefit the VUB has on having this projects. Like if I give you a project, if I'm interested in presenting a project, what's the benefit and why do you do it? Like how are you financing all this structure?
Okay, so thank you very much. The way we are financing the structure is quite simple. Uh, those three logos, Close the Gap is a social enterprise, quite successful one. Walter Kluwer is part of Kluwer International. It's one of the biggest publishers. And Euroclear is a clearinghouse, market leader of financial transactions clearing. And they're sponsoring 20,000 each per year for 5 years, with the possibility to have further sponsoring. So with that amount of money, we have just sufficient for one PhD student. He's sitting here in front, and some working money. That's it. So, and we will go and ask for more sponsoring. Right now, we are in a second round. If you put a project on the platform, we don't benefit anything. Nothing. We have more work. And why are we doing that? Well, because we believe that social entrepreneurs can be supported and that they're important for sustainability. Later on, I can imagine that a good network will make it much more easier to have European foundation and all kind of fundings, but we're not there yet. And I'm not sure if that will be of a benefit only for us. I will guess for the whole ecosystem then, because then you need to sit around the table, and if you are happy enough to go to Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to have a good funding, well, I think it should benefit the whole ecosystem and not only VUB. But basically with this initiative, and this is why you don't have many initiatives like that, it's quite time consuming and labor intensive. And well, my evaluation is based on publications and on teaching, and not on the number of projects out there. But I can assure you that the rector, the vice rectors, and my dean love the initiative.
Thank you. And then I have a second question. I'm sorry, I'm like, yeah. Then what's the ideal project you're looking for? And I'm guessing you don't accept all the projects. Like what is it exactly what you're looking for in a project for it to be accepted and for it to be in the platform?
As long as the projects have a good cause, they're fine. So, as mentioned, one of the projects was collecting clothes. So that's not a fancy project, it's not innovative, it's quite simple. But we helped our colleague to collect the clothes much faster. We collected something like 50% more clothes. It's more effective, it's easier to do. And we are not going to be as selective as selecting only the most sexy projects. Why? Because you never know in the dynamic how projects develop, and from one project and one idea you can have later on further good solutions for sustainability. We will not accept the projects that tries to generate money for the people themselves, and we will not support projects that are not helping a social cause.
So, thank you. Would the generation of employment be considered as justifying cost for you, even though the final target is to make money for the partners?
Well, I'm not sure that I understood well the question. Whether unemployment is a good focus? Well, generating employment is, of course, a good idea. Let's say we are not going to support entrepreneurs who have no social mission, but generate employment. We can support entrepreneurs who are in vulnerable situation and have quite some difficulties. They have not only financial, material, but also physical and psychical difficulties. Those are projects that we can support. But normal entrepreneurs of people being able to attend university, hear good education, and are just doing a normal business, it's not the idea. NGOs supporting unemployment and initiatives around, we'll be happy to support.
Yes.
Okay, we would like to thank Dr. Densha for a wonderful conference. And now Mrs. Jeannie Caicedo, the Director of International Cooperation and Development Office, would like to present you with a token of our appreciation for being our guest lecturer at Cátedra Europa.
Vigésima primera Cátedra Europa, el encuentro académico y cultural del Caribe colombiano y el mundo académico europeo. Europa se vive en el Caribe.